Hey everyone, thanks for joining me this afternoon for ACU Yoga. My name is Ella. We have a couple of minutes until we start this live stream. So if you're watching this on demand at a later time, just know you've got a few minutes to chill out. You can take some stretches, lie down on your mat, do as you please for the next few minutes, and I'll let you know when it's time to begin. Hey everyone, welcome. We're going to make a start. Thank you so much for joining me this, what is a rainy Wednesday afternoon here in Sydney for yoga with ACU Gym. My name is Ella. I'm one of the yoga instructors at ACU North Sydney, and I want to thank you so much for joining me for this 30 minutes of movement, breath, slowing down, coming back to ourselves. You won't need any props for today's practice, just yourself and a mat. We're going to start today standing up, coming into Tadasana, standing at the top of your mat. Feet are underneath the hips, just to begin with here. Finding a really firm foundation. Lift the toes off the mat, spread them as you place them back down. And just want you to take a gentle shift off to the left, And then transfer of weight to the right. Just a very little gentle sway side to side. And then take that forward and back. Weight into heels, and then coming into balls of the feet, a little into the toes, but don't let the heels lift off. So just gentle waves. And take this into little circles around the ankles. And while we're not trying to stiffen up too much in the body, there should be a sense of alertness. So we don't want to be too floppy and slumped. A couple of circles in the opposite direction. And then allow the eyes to shut down. And if this is really challenging for your balance, you can kind of take a soft gaze down to the floor, or maybe just a half close of the eyes. Slow the movement down until you arrive in center. Even distribution of weight through both feet. Feeling really centered and secure. No more movement. From this central place, press the feet down towards the floor. Engage the legs by lifting the kneecaps up. Feel the quadriceps switch on here. Find a gentle lengthening of your tailbone down towards the floor. As you do, feel the lower belly draw a little in. And spine lengthens up out of the pelvis. Back of the neck is long. And slowly roll the shoulders up towards the ears and slide them down your back. See if you can allow the eyes to remain shut down here, moving into that internal perception of body. And fingers lengthen towards the floor. Find a little spread between each finger. Body is fully engaged in Tadasana, mountain pose. This sense of the foundation of your legs extending through the floor, deep into the bedrock of the earth. And then the mountainous shape of your body, tall peak of the crown of your head reaching up towards the sky. And keeping everything where it is, take a bend in the elbows to bring the palms to rest at heart center. And find a softening of the shoulders down away from the ears here again. Take a long breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, side away. One more, in through the nostrils, filling up the belly, swelling the side ribs, a little sip of air into the upper chest. And let it go out of the mouth. Seal off the lips. Continue to breathe in and out of the nose. And continuing to find this strength and engagement of feet pressing down, kneecaps lifting, tailbone lengthening, long spine, but also this softness and space for the breath within the body. And take one more round of breath here. And slowly open your eyes, release your hands by your side. Enjoy your practice, yogis. You should be standing at the top of your mat. We're perfectly placed to move into a few rounds of Surya Namaskar, a sun salutation. On an inhale, reach your arms up overhead, the palms touch. Exhale, folding through center to the mat. Halfway lift, breathe in, hands trace up the shins to the kneecaps, the spine extends away long. Exhale, forward fold, soften the knees, allow the head to hang heavy. And take that halfway lift again. Inhale, halfway, spine extends forward, shoulders roll back away from the ears. Exhale, soften the knees, forward fold. One more, halfway lift, long flat back. Exhale, plant the hands to the mat, step the feet back, come into high plank. Shoulders stacked over the wrists, spread the fingers wide on the floor and push the palms down. As you do, feel that buoyancy of the body lifting up away from the mat. Heels reach towards the back of the mat and the chest is drawn forward beyond the shoulders. Inhale, use your toes to shift your weight forward, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, tap the knees, bend the elbows, lower the body slowly to the mat. Untuck the toes, press the tops of the feet down. Inhale, baby cobra. Shoulders roll back, elbows stay bent and squeeze in towards the midline. Exhale, release the body on down. Inhale again, baby cobra, rolling the shoulders back to peel the chest up and away from the mat. And then exhale, release. Press up to tabletop. So coming to hands and knees. Tuck the toes under and then all the way back. Downward facing dog. Come up high to the tip toes. Bend the knees, look to the hands. Walk the feet forward to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Let the head hang heavy. Inhale to stand, soften the knees, tuck the tailbone under as you roll the spine on up. Sweeping the arms up overhead at the end, palms meet. Exhale, hands soften down to heart center, shut down the eyes momentarily. Samasthiti. Inhale, open your eyes, sweep the arms tall. Exhale, forward fold to the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back, high plank. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, option to tap knees, or exhale, lower one long line, no floppy bellies, all the way to the mat. Inhale, cobra. You might start to come a little higher, but see if you can keep a little micro bend in the elbows. Keep rolling the shoulders back and reaching the heart forward. Downward facing dog. You can move through tabletop or press or draw straight back. Inhale, come up high to the tip toes. Exhale, bend your knees, look to your hands, walking or taking 1-2 big steps of the feet forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold and release. Inhale to stand up strong, press the feet down as you sweep the arms up. Exhale, soften the hands to heart center, soften the eyes down, soften the shoulders. Inhale, open your eyes, sweep the arms tall. Exhale, forward fold, all the way down. Halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to high plank. Inhale, weight shifts forward. Option to tap knees, or exhale, you can lower to chaturanga all the way to the floor. Cobra, or maybe upward facing dog if the spine feels ready. Knees and thighs lifted in up dog. Downward facing dog is where we'll meet. Inhale to come up high to tip toes. Exhale, bend your knees, look to your hands. Walk, step, or a little pounce of the feet forward to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, long back extends away. Exhale, fold and release the head. Inhale to rise tall, feet press down, sweep the arms up with energy. Exhale, hands soften down to heart center, shut down the eyes, Samasthiti. 2 rounds of breath here. Open your eyes, release your hands by your side. Tree pose. Lift the left heel off the mat, coming up to left tip toes. Turn the left knee out to the side so we find this external rotation through the thigh bone. And then pick the foot up. You can either place it on inner calf or maybe use the wrist, the hand rather, to pick the foot up and place it into the inner thigh, avoiding contact between foot and knee joint. Bring the palms to touch at heart center. Bring your attention to the right hip. Just check that you're not allowing it to slouch out. So squeeze that outer right hip into center, engaging glute med, that outer hip muscle. And then I want you to bring your attention to the inner leg muscles of the standing leg, the right leg, and press them back against the foot. Everything's stable and strong. You might notice a little wobble here as micro adjustments in the right foot as it keeps you stable. Very normal. Just observing them without too much judgment. And if you fall out, feel free to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start over with that placement of the foot. Hands can stay here at heart or expand them, opening your branches of your tree out into your expression. And they might be high, they can be low, behind your back, whatever your body is calling for. And slowly return the hands back to center. Take an inhale. Exhale, release the foot, release the arms on down. We'll take the same on the other side. So coming up to the toes of the right foot, spinning the knee out, and then picking the foot up, placing it in a calf or into inner thigh. The hands come to heart center, finding that one spot to focus on to help your balance, your drishti point, your gaze. Firming in the outer left hip and squeezing the inner leg muscles back against the foot. Really strong and stable in that standing leg. The more we engage it, really helps with our balance. Maybe the hands stay at heart center, or you once again open them up into your expression of tree. Maybe the same, maybe different on this side. Return the hands back to center once again. Take a final breath in. Exhale, release the foot, release the arms on down. Inhale, reach the arms tall. Exhale, fold to the floor. Halfway lift, long flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet straight back, come into downward facing dog. Drop the knees to the mat, tabletop position. Just check in that the hands are directly underneath the shoulders. Find a spread of the fingers wide. Knees are underneath the hips. Find a slight engagement of the lower ribs drawing up towards the spine. So we want to take out any floppiness here and find a neutral spine supported by an engaged core. I'm going to come into dog bird. So lifting the left leg up and away and the right hand forward. Get a little longer, toe tip to fingertip. Breathe in. And as you exhale, curl the knee to touch the nose, bringing the elbow in and under as well. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, coil to center. One more. Inhale to get really long, expansive energy, and then exhale, draw it on in. One last, lengthen. And this time as you exhale, bring the hand and knee back to the floor. We'll take the same on the other side. Before we do, let's just re-establish that nice neutral supported spine. So a slight draw of the lower ribs in. There's a little firming of the palms into the mat. Spread the shoulders apart from each other. And then right leg extends long up and away. Left fingers reach forward. Inhale to get longer, toe tip to fingertip. Exhale, coil, nose to knee, elbow draws in and through. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw to center. Breathing in, finding space in the body. Exhale, coil it all into center. One last breath in to get long. Exhale, hand and knee back down to the mat. Shifting into a modified side plank. So you're going to shift your left foot off to the left side of the mat. You can see here, it's not quite 90 degrees. It's kind of about a 45-degree angle. Whatever's comfortable here in the knee. And then we're shifting weight into left hand. Right leg extends long down the mat. Right fingers reach for the ceiling. Just check that you still feel well supported. Left hand underneath left shoulder. Lift the right foot off the mat. Flex really strongly through that right ankle. See if you can turn the toes to point to the side wall so that they're not spinning up towards the ceiling. And then squeezing that outer right hip again, glute med, activating it to keep yourself stable here. If you'd like to make this a little harder, take a slow pulse of the right leg up and down in space. Slowly bring the right foot back to the floor. Ground all of the foot down. The toes are pointing to the long edge of the mat. And on an inhale, draw the torso up to vertical. Gate pose, slide the right hand down the right leg. The left arm reaches up and overhead. Try not to let that top shoulder drag down towards the mat. See if you can keep lifting it up and rolling it back. Inhale to draw back up through center, and then exhale, cartwheel both hands back to the mat. Bring the knees back underneath you, tabletop, and we'll take the same on the other side. So this time, taking the right foot off to the right edge of the mat. Weight into right hand, right knee, left leg extends long, left fingers reach for the ceiling. Float the left foot off the mat, engaging strongly through those outer leg muscles and really flexing strongly through the left ankle. So the more we flex it, actually the lighter and more easy to control that foot is. And then maybe pausing here or taking that slow pulse up and down. Return the left foot back to the mat. Inhale to bring the body up through center. Exhale, gate pose. Left hand slides down, left leg, right arm reaches up and over. So we're looking for that big side stretch through the right side body, which is aided by a slight opening of your right armpit up towards the ceiling as you roll the right shoulder just a little back. Inhale to draw back through center. Exhale, cartwheel, both hands back to the mat. Tabletop position once again. Tuck the toes under, lift the knees all the way back to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, tiger curl, knee to nose, and step the right foot forward between the hands. We're going to come straight up to warrior two. Ground the left heel down. Inhale to circle the arms open in space, arriving into your warrior two lunge. Right knee stacked over the right ankle. Find a slight tucking of that right bottom cheek in and under. And think about the inner right leg broadening out towards the right big toe. Back foot is parallel with the back of your mat or slightly turned in. Flip your front palm, inhale, reverse your warrior, big side stretch through the right side body. And then straighten your right leg, so press that right foot down to the floor. Bring the body back up to vertical. We're going to shift into triangle pose, Trikonasana. For some people, this is more accessible if you toe heel the back foot in, shortening the stance a little. So I'll leave that up to you. Gaze out beyond the front fingertips. Reach, reach, reach the arm forward in space. Drag the hips towards the back of the mat. Reach a little further with those right fingertips. And then float the hand down. You can either hover it at the inner calf, or if this feels like it's a lot of work in the side body and you're starting to collapse, a light press of the fingertips down towards the shins to support you. Once again, check that that top shoulder isn't rolling down towards the mat. There's a sense of opening the chest to the long left edge of your mat. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Shift your gaze down to the floor and soften into that right knee. We're going to come into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon, which for some people can be a bit of a challenging balance. We're going to toe heel that back foot in, so it's a much shorter stance. I want you to stretch your right arm out, and that same feeling we had with Trikonasana where we reached before, we're going to do the same here again and slowly bring the fingertips down to the mat. As we do, left leg floats off and away. I want you to flex really strongly through that left ankle. Remember, the more flexed it is, the engagement of the leg occurs and the lighter and more easily controlled it is. Take a little micro bend in the right knee, can help to stabilize here. And use your left hand to slowly open the hip up so that your pelvis and your chest is opening to the left side of the mat. Your gaze can stay down towards the floor, or you can start to shift it off to the left side, a little more challenging. And that left hand can stay at the left hip, or you can float the left fingertips up to the ceiling. If you're feeling pretty stable here, you've also got the option to lift that right hand away from the floor and come into a little floating variation. Slow step back to warrior two. Soften the right knee. Step the left foot back in space. Arrive back into your warrior lunge. Flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, cartwheel. Both hands to the mat. Lifting the left heel to arrive in low lunge. Step the right foot back to meet the left. High plank. Press back. Downward facing dog. We'll take the same on the other side. Inhale, left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it forward between your hands. I'll spin around the other way for this side so you guys can see me. Warrior two, right heel grounds. Inhale, circle the arms, open in space to arrive in your warrior lunge. Left knee stacked over the left ankle. That little squeezing and tucking of the left bottom cheek in and under, and that broadening through the inside of the left thigh. Flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Big side stretch. Pausing here as you straighten the left leg. So press the left foot down to the mat. And then bring the torso back up to vertical. You can shorten the stance again by toe heeling the back foot in as we set up for Trikonasana triangle pose. Take that reach of the left arm forward in space. Move the left hip crease back in space, reach a little further with that left arm, and then allow it to gracefully float down. Once again, you can either take the hover of the back of the left hand, gently pressing into the left calf, or maybe just a soft press of fingertips down to the shin bone to support you. Continue to open the chest to the side of the mat. Ideally, we're looking for one long line from those bottom fingers, extending all the way up to the top. Bring the right hand to your right hip, shift your gaze to the mat, soften into the left knee, toe heel that back foot in. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. So reach the left arm out and away, find a reach through the side body, and then fingertips find the mat as the right leg lifts off behind you. Good guide here is that you want the left hand under the left shoulder. It gets a little out of balance if it's too far forward or too far back. Maybe that little micro bend in the left knee as you stabilize. Healthy flex in that right ankle. Press out through the sole of the right foot back in space. Opening the chest to the side of the mat. Maybe floating those right fingers up towards the ceiling. Maybe you've got the space to find a little floating variation. Big expansive energy before you step on back to warrior two. Once again, softening into the left knee, stepping that foot back towards the back of the mat. Flip your front palm, inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel both hands to the floor, low lunge. So the right heel will lift. Step the left foot back to meet the right, high plank. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, lower all the way to the mat. Untuck the toes, reach the arms back. I'm coming into Shalambhasana, locust pose. On an inhale, lift the feet away from the floor, the palms away from the mat. The shoulders roll back, the chest lifts up. Floating, flying feeling. Point the toes away, keep reaching the fingers back. Let the gaze be just down to the floor or just out in front. So the back of the neck should be long rather than crunched up. Take one more breath in here. Exhale, soften and release the body down. Turn the cheek to one side and take a little wriggle of your hips side to side on the mat. Bring the head back to center. Interlace the fingers at the base of the spine, a little clasp of the hands. And then on an inhale, extend the arms away, shoulders roll up, chest peels up, lift the feet. We're in our bound Shalambhasana variation. Keep pointing the toes, engaging the legs to lift the knees, maybe the tops of the thighs a little more away from the mat. Long back of the neck. One more breath in here. And exhale, unclasp the hands, let the body release all the way to the floor. Bend the knees up, take a little windscreen wiper of the feet, side to side to release. Bring your legs back to the floor, bring your head back to center. cactus the arms. So there's a 90-degree bend in the elbows. The fingertips are pointing straight forward. We'll take a little shoulder pec release here. So you're going to lift the right elbow off the mat, drag the right hand back on the floor so it's in line with your right shoulder, and come up onto right fingertips. Use those right fingertips pressing into the mat to roll yourself off over the left shoulder. So you roll onto the left hip, the outer left leg, bend through that right knee. Maybe it touches the right foot down behind you. Your head should be released to the floor here. It doesn't have to be super, super intense. If this is really strong, don't roll quite so far to that left side. So you should be feeling this in the shoulder and the pectoral. And take one more inhale here. And exhale, roll back to center. Recactus that right arm. We'll take the same on the other side. So this time lifting the left elbow up, dragging the left hand back in line with the left shoulder. Come up onto left fingertips and then use the pressure of fingers to the floor to roll yourself off to the right side. So you're rolling over that right shoulder. And pausing here and breathing. One more breath in. Exhale, release back to center. Bring the hands back to the lower ribs, press up to tabletop, and then all the way back to a kneeling seat. Take a little roll of your shoulders up to your ears, slide them down your back. Shift off your bottoms, and we'll find Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of the feet together, the knees drop out wide. Sit up nice and tall on your sit bones. You can use the fingers behind you to help to find a lengthening through the spine. We really want to avoid too much rounding here and the pelvis rolling back. So think sit up nice and tall. Bring the hands to the ankles or the shin bones. As you inhale, lift the heart up and forward, the shoulders roll back. And as you exhale, bend the elbows to slowly draw the body down towards the floor. Take a breath in here. And then as you exhale, allow the chin to drop in towards the chest, the shoulders to soften, the spine can now naturally round. Hands can stay at ankles or legs, or you can release the arms down to the floor in front of you, maybe resting the back of the forearms down, having the palms facing up. And slowly roll the spine back up to vertical. Extend the legs out in front of you, sitting tall in Dandasana, staff pose. Just check you've got enough room behind you to roll back in a moment. You might need to scoot bottoms down the mat a little. So legs are long, feet are flexed, long spine, sitting tall on the sit bones. Reach the arms out in front of you. Take a breath in. Exhale, take a slow roll all the way to your backs. Spread the arms out wide, 90 degrees from the body. Bend the knees, stacking them above the hips, shins parallel to the floor. Take a breath in. As you exhale, drop the legs off to the right for an easy supine twist. Let that left shoulder be anchored down to the mat. If it feels okay in your neck, you can let the head drop off to the left. Draw the head back through center. Find a gentle firming through core to support the spine as you inhale, knees back to center. And then exhale, drop them both off to the left. Let that right shoulder ground down to the floor. Maybe let the head drop off to the right. Head returns to center, firming through core as you inhale, knees back to center. Hug the knees on in towards the chest. And take a couple little gentle rocks and rolls from side to side. Maybe place hands to knees and you can circle them out in one direction and then the other, giving the lower back a little massage. Take a final, really tight hug of arms around the legs. Curl the nose right up towards the knees, curling yourself up into a tight little ball. And then release it all, Shavasana. Legs extend long to the floor. Heels resting a little wider than hip width distance apart. Arms stretched out from the body. Eyes are shut down. And we'll just take a minute or so here to rest, allowing all of the work of the previous 30 minutes to settle and integrate in our body. And for our nervous systems, just to recalibrate with all of that movement that we've delivered to it. I'll let you know when it's time to come out. If you have the time today to remain resting, please do. But if it's now the moment to move on and begin to lengthen and deepen the breath again. Wriggle the fingers, the toes. Reach the arms up overhead, bring the feet together, take a full body stretch. Then draw the knees up and roll off to one side. Just pausing there for a moment, perhaps using the arm under the head as a little pillow. Keeping the eyes shut down, make your way up to a comfortable seat on your mat. Be easy, cross legs, and some other variation. And when you arrive, bring the hands to rest at heart center. And take a long breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, let it all go. And take a moment to give yourself thanks for making time in your day for this practice. Slow down to find space in the body, in the breath, in the mind. Bow your chin to your chest. Head bows to heart. To ourselves, to each other, together we say, Namaste. Thank you so much, yogis, for joining me this afternoon. Next week, the lovely Keely will be back with you on live stream from Melbourne, presenting your midweek yoga offering. We're really looking forward to seeing you back in person in the gym sometime soon. And do remember that we have a whole lot of on-demand workouts available on the ACU website. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you on the mat sometime soon.